Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Nishan Nandkuliar 13289. Welcome back to this video. Today in this session we are going to start a new playlist where we are going to cover end-to-end Power BI project. So in this session I apply here all the real time scenario which we faced in the Power BI project in the organization. So in the real time project, where do we start to create the report? How do you get the requirement? How do you load the data? How do you get the modeling? How do you publish the report? And how do you share the report with the end users? These all the steps we are covering in this session. The name of session is End-to-End Power BI Project. So in the real-time scenario, we get the project from the client to the organization. So in where we work, in any organization like A, B, C, D, any companies. So we get the data from our client. So client requirement is the most important for us, because as per the client requirement, we do and create the project as per their required. So in this scenario, we cover all the important features what we have to apply in the terms of report, in the terms of publishing the report on the cloud in Power BI. So let's start. So in the project of Power BI, there are few steps on the project. So in any organization, the requirement of the client is based on the business requirement or business required data. It depends on the client what the data they will share with you, or you have to ask the question about the business required documents. You have to ask to him to share your business required data. That is the main data which we have to focus, what we have to create in the report. So that is requirement is called business required data. In this document, all the functionality, all the methods of steps which we have to create and implement on the report in Power BI, they as per given by the client of business required document, what they need from you, that mention in this document. So first our duty is asked to the client to share the business required document with us. Then we can analyze and read all the documents and follow the steps, and that steps we implement in the report of Power BI. So that is the first point, which is the steps in the project on the Power BI. Second step is very much important, because we need to gather the data from different sources. It depends on the client is giving you the data from which sources. It depends on the client. It could be a CSV file, it could be a MySQL, it could be a database like SQL Server, it could be a flat file. So it depends on the gathering the data from the client base side that will share with you, and you gather the data, and the data you implement in your Power BI report. Then after, when you load the data into the local engine in the Power BI, then after the data is clean and clear and all the transformation had been done, so after that you can create the report as per the required the business document. That is my second point of data sources. And third point is data modeling. Data modeling is the third most important points for relationships between the tables. If we collect the data from source files like CSV, Excel, SQL Server, any from sources, so there are many tables like 4, 5, 6 tables. So each tables has to be relationship between each other. So there is one primary key in each table, so we can model with the another table like one to another table like a star schema, a snowflake schema, one to many relationship, many to many relationship, many to one relationship. These all are the relationships is which we mention in this report, because if there is no relationship between the each table, then we cannot gather the insight the report from the table from other table into the Power BI. So data modeling is much important to create the authentic report in Power BI. Fourth option is our Power Query for data cleaning if required. If data cleaning is required, then we need to clean the data because there is duplicacy in the data, there is some null values in the data, there is some blank values in the data. So we need to focus on the data transformation layer, because this transformation layer is very important for Power Query, because Power Query is inbuilt tool in the Power BI. So we get the transformation in Power Query and clean and check the data. If data has been cleaned and there is no any required for the cleaning, then we move on the Power BI desktop and we create the visual. Fifth, our requirement is create visual like chart, table chart, donut chart, etc. If you any chart if required from the client, funnel chart, there is many chart, a stack bar chart, a stack column chart, funnel chart, bar chart, there's many chart, donut chart, cards, KPIs, key performance indicators. So we create all these charts and cards as per given our requirement for show the report in front of our client, because client they send the report to the other users. So this chart, which chart is required for see the data in depth wise, so that chart is very much important. Now the sixth point is DAX function. So we need to inside the meaningful expressions from the other tables and the additional information we need to gather from the data. So we work on the DAX function, because DAX is data analysis expressions. This is additional information we collect from the existing data. If we have sales table, if we have category table, if we have geographical table, so in sales table there are counts of ID, there are sales of their amount, there are sales of their items number. So what we will do here, we create the counts of, we create the measure, we create the calculated columns from the count of the table, from the sales of a total amount. So that is the main functionality on DAX which we create for the DAX function. So DAX is very much important for Power BI on topic wise on project. And sixth, our requirement is RLS. RLS means now we mention here RLS in the first term because this is applicable on the Power BI publishing. When we published our report in the on the publish of the cloud Power BI, so that work will be worked there. But why we mention here RLS? Because in the RLS there is a managed role, because we manage the role as per the user based. So this user based role we manage in the Power BI desktop, and we can check the role as a view as role. Which role, which I mentioned in the Power BI, we can check here in the Power BI desktop. This is restriction based role as a user. Which user is see the which report, client wise. Client if give the permission that that location of user see the A, example location A is see by the user A, location B is see the report by the user C. So that is the relationship restriction based RLS. So user see the report as per the access of from the admin team, from the admin, because in admin they give the permission to the role. If in each role they have the admin contributor for publishing the report, so there are 4 to 5 role systems in the Power BI server report, Power BI server. So we can manage which user has given the permission of the which category, and the which country has given the permission for the which user to see the role. So every user not able to see the entire role. If we give the permission for the see the only country A to see the role of user A, so user A is only able to see the role of country A. So that is the main best function in RLS, because RLS is role level security is the best feature in the Power BI to restrict the role based to user, because user are not able to see the entire data. So this is user based role in role level security in the Power BI desktop. Seventh point is my publishing report on the cloud. If all the reports are created, all the reports are created, all the transformation, all the DAX functions, all the reports has done from our end, then now we turn to publishing the reports on the cloud. So when we publish the report on the clouds, so we need to our accessing the login ID, which is our corporate mail ID, so which I mentioned there with the our password. Then we click on a sign in, then our Power BI cloud app will be opened in your browser. Then you can create the next step follows in the publishing in the Power BI cloud. So next step is on the topic of the project is create workspace and my workspace. Workspace means when you create any report, your all teammates within your organization, your all teammates are eligible or able to see your report when you publish on your workspace. And my workspace is the only able to see the report which you upload in the my workspace. So this workspace and why my workspace is very important in Power BI. Then publish the report. Publishing the report is the way when we sign in the login system in the Power BI from corporate mail ID and password, then our report has been submitted on the workspace and all the work has done. Then we publish the report. Publish means when we publish the report, then my report is final and fixed. Now we need to add some additional functions in our report after publishing in Power BI. So there is a bridge of between the gateway and the refresh schedule for the data, because your data is giving from the different sources. So how your data will be sharing with the other users, with the other people? So there is a bridge. Bridge means that there is a gateway. You add the gateway of your data source, of your database where the source is coming from your data in Power BI. So we add and create the gateway, and after the gateway we create a schedule refresh of the data. And your client asks you that we need to schedule refresh in every Monday at 8 a.m. and it will work automatically. Then we can schedule refresh and weekly wise, daily wise, and monthly wise, and hourly wise. So we create a report in daily wise on Monday at sharp 8 a.m. The data automatically refresh without you do refresh in manual, because in manual there no need to do work in manual refresh for the data, because if the data is coming after 12 a.m. in the night, then data is automatically imported in your report in Power BI, and that is automatically refreshed. You don't need to refresh in manually. So this is the functions of schedule refresh in data. And second is user based role and their access. As we said in earlier in RLS, which role is access for the user. So a specific role is access for the specific user, a particular user. If any role, if our client is A and the user is B, so B user is, if I permission to the B user to see the report of client A, and client A the report the entire data, they able to see the report or not, that is all depends on the admin. Because if admin they give the permission to view the report only, then when user can open the report, so they are able to only view the report. They are not able to publish the report, they are not able to manage the report, they are not able to edit the report. They only able to view the report, because the role access is given by the admin, and admin if sharing with the only for the report view, then user is only role for this access, that daytime they only see the report as per the given by the permission from the admin team. If user based role has done in this report, then we are ready to going to share the reports with the end users and consume the reports with our teammates, because our report has done and we can share the report with the end users with our teammates. So we can share, because there are several types of sharing in Power BI which we apply here. We can share with the PPT also, we can share on mail, we can share the link of the Power BI. So in the Power BI cloud there are different ways to share your report in your PPT chart, in your Excel sheet tables chart. If you want to share the reports, if you want to share the reports in dashboard like tiles, there is also a way of the sharing the reports with the end users. So that is all the features in the Power BI which we create in this videos. So my topic is on the report is what we do in our the next videos for create the table and create the chart. So before create the table and chart, we need to focus on a topic, because when when we ask to our client to give the business required documents, then they share with us the documents. So in that documents there is mention what we need to do. Is like that, if I am sharing you the documents like this is Power BI project related documents. So in this document this is mentioned that the create the data gathering and get the sources from the different sources and give the permission from the organization, like select year wise data from folder. Means you need to, because you need to data from the folder. Suppose you have different year sales files. Sales files means 14, 15, 16, 17 years you have sales files in a one folder. Then your client is asking you, your client is telling you, you need to get the data from this folder and create report. So you have to do the check the folders which data is inside the folder and create the report, import in the Power BI. Second, select Excel sheet from the local. If the data is in the Excel format and this format is in your local system, then you get the data from your Excel sheet. Select some geographical data from your database and data from database also, because some table is also you collect from the SQL Server database, MySQL Server. So these are the sample required project documents, because in real time scenario this projects will you collect, this project will you collect from the client. This means that there is some different, because this is just a sample of the task which is given, because this task is not complete, because we need some more points in this task. So I just mentioned the task 1A means what we need to get the data and what data we gather from it with which sources. So with that is mentioned here in this document. So the next topic is report wise. So in this topic we get the data from sources and data collection. So ours in this session, our series in four types: series 1, series 2, series 3 and series 4. In first series we will get you the information how we get the data from different sources and data collection. So that is the entire process in my first series video for end-to-end Power BI project. Second, my topic will be in series 2 is transformation, because when series 1 will be end for data sources, then series 2 will come here. Then in series 2 data transformation for data cleaning. First, uploading the data, get the sources from different files, different CSV files and Excel files. Then we check which data is required to clean, because there is some null values is there is some duplicacy values is there is some errors, though we need to create and we need to clean and transform all the data. If data is clean, then we automatically we close and apply the button and data will convert into the Power BI desktop. So our series 3 task is create the report on report panel with the help of chart and KPIs. So in the business required documents, all the KPIs and charts and which chart required, because that is the main point. If they are required to line chart, then we can create line chart. When we require the stack bar chart, a stack column chart, so we can create stack bar and stack column chart. It depends on the client what they require to see the report in which visual. And KPIs, because we create multi cards, donuts charts, all the reports, all the charts we create in this session in series 3. So in this series 3 we create the report in Power BI desktop, and the last series in this session, series 4, after create all the charts, all the transformation, get the data from sources then our task is to report the data into the cloud. So when we send the data into cloud after publishing, so publishing is not the last point options in the Power BI, because after publishing we shares the report, we create schedule refresh, we create data gateway, these all the works, we create the app, we create the dashboards, we create the abundant link with the other user. So all this work we work in the Power BI cloud. So at last in this series 4 we create the report in publishing on the cloud and share with the end user, and user they consume the report as per their requirement. So that is the main functionality in this session for end-to-end Power BI project. After this topic we come into our series 1 topic for get data sources and data collection. So I request you, all of you guys, please watch my videos without skip, because if you want to grab and get the knowledge in Power BI and with the deeply knowledge, so you need to focus on the video what we are doing here and what we apply for clean and import and transformation and charts and publishing the report, how we are doing here, and which step I follow here, because each step is very essential for a real-time basis when you work in any other organization. So I request you, please see and please watch my video complete without skip. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.